Hey guys! Today we have some good natural light, so I'm not using my ring light. Hopefully the microphone will work a little bit better. If you have watched my previous video, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, today's video is all about color correction. If you walk into drugstore or Sephora right now, then you will notice that all the brands are releasing a bunch of products related to color correction. In today's video, I will touch down on some of the basic knowledge you may want to pay attention when color correcting. At the later part of the video, I will also use this NYX Color Correcting Concealer Palette to do a little demonstration. If you are curious about how it works or if you think you need it, then just keep on watching. Before we start with all the theory and action, I just want to quickly tell you first how I personally feel about color correcting. For me, I really think not everyone needs it. You really want to just target the area that you have discoloration concern and leave the rest of your face for regular foundation or concealer. So again, I don't think everyone needs that. I think it's just what is trendy right now. First of all, if you want to learn about color correction, then you have to know what a color wheel is. Just Google color wheel, then you will have a lot of pictures, and I will also insert one around here so that I can show you as I explain. Basically, whatever color you are trying to get rid of or neutralize, you go directly to the other side of the wheel. That color at the opposite side will be the color for you to cancel out the discoloration that concerns you or to neutralize it. So that's kind of the main base of the whole color correction thing. But I think there's also another important part that many people tend to ignore. That is, you also need to adjust the brightness according to your skin tone. Basically, you need to adjust the color lighter or darker based on how light or dark your skin tone is. The purpose of that is to make sure when you do color correction, the brightness will match your skin tone correctly. So first, let's talk about yellow. Yellow is just a more everyday universal shade for all kinds of discolorations. That's why it is also a typical shade as a concealer for either your under eye area or just all over your face. For some skin tones, you can also use yellow to brighten up the certain area on your face. Also typically like the under eye area, that's why there's the banana shade. Next, let's look at orange. So as you can see, the opposite side of orange is in between blue and purple. That's why the orangey shade is perfect to cancel out your dark circles or bruises, which are usually purple or blue. Going back to what I say about you need to adjust the brightness of the color according to your skin tone. So if you have very fair skin tone, then you can go a little bit more pink or peachy color. If you have medium skin tone like me, then usually orange works the best. And if you have really very dark skin tone, some people can even use red. This is a color correcting color that I personally use the most because I do have some dark circles, and instead of you putting a regular concealer directly trying to cover the dark circles, it really works a lot better if you use some orangey shade to kind of cancel out first and then use a concealer or brightening color to brighten up your under eye area. Now let's look at green at the color wheel. So you will see the opposite side of green is red. So green is the perfect color for you to color correct when you want to get rid of some redness on your face or red pimples or red blemishes. This shade seems to be a little bit more common because I see there are many green primers out there. Then let's look at purple on the color wheel. So as you can see, the opposite side of purple is yellow. So purple or lavender color are the best for you to brighten up the yellow undertone on your face, or also just to neutralize the dullness of your face. You can also find a lot of purplish lavender primer out there, and I also see more and more kind of very light lavender color of setting powder out there. So I guess you can really just use it as the last step to brighten up your whole face if you find your face tend to look very dull or yellow. So in a minute, I'm going to do a little demo using this NYX Color Correcting Concealer Palette. This is a cream product. I think it's a great affordable choice, but I also think that it only works for fair skin tone ladies, because on me, who is medium skin tone, many shades in this palette are just way too light for me, so they don't really work well and they don't really do what they are supposed to do, at least on my skin tone. Also, most of those shades are very sheer, so you do have to kind of build it up a little bit if you have very serious discoloration on your face. But I can definitely see that it will work pretty well on fair skin tone ladies. So in the demo, which we are going to enter in a minute, I actually only use 2 shades in this palette, but I will still go through every shade here to explain how you can use them if you have very fair to light medium skin tones. So without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so first I'm gonna prime my face using the NARS Pro Prime Multi Protect Primer. Feel free to use a color correcting primer if you want. You can use green if you have a lot of redness, or lavender color if you find your face looking a little bit dull. Then I'm applying the green color at both sides of my nose. Those are the places that I tend to have a lot of redness. Now you can see one side is already less red than the other side. Also make sure to blend everything well so there's no funny residue left behind. And if you want, you can also use the purple color or the pink color in this palette to brighten the areas you like. Personally, don't really use those shades, but just for today's demonstration purpose, I'm applying the purple shade at my cheekbones. So you can see that one side is a little bit more brightened than the other side, and also the bridge of my nose. Now onto the dark circles. If you don't really have much dark circles, you can use the yellow one as a regular concealer. And if you have very fair skin tone, you can use this light skin color to kind of cancel out the dark circles. For my skin tone, I'm using the Revlon Lip Butter in Juicy Papaya. You can just use any other peachy, salmony, orange color according to your skin tone. So I'm using this, trying to cancel out my dark circles. I know it looks crazy, but it works. After that, moving to your foundation. Here I'm applying a very thin layer of NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. Since there's a lot going on my face already, I try to apply as little product as possible using my all-time favorite foundation brush, F80 Kabuki from Sigma. You can see that even though I haven't applied any concealer, my whole face and my under eye area already look pretty toned and even. Now I'm using this light skin tone color to brighten up my under eye area. Like I mentioned, this shade is supposed to be a peachy salmon shade for fair skin tone ladies to cancel out dark circles. But on me, it's very light, so I can use it for brightening effect. If you're fair enough, then you can also use this darker skin color as a cream contour around your nose, your face, and all that. For me, it's just a little bit too light. Set my whole face as well as my under eye area with the NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder and the buffing brush from Real Techniques. So just try to make sure everything stays put and locked in. And voila, you can see now my complexion is much more even and still look very natural. So after that, I just add my usual drill like the bronzer and blush and highlighter and my lipstick, and here we are. Besides your usual face makeup routine like primer, foundation, setting powder, bronzer, and all that, it's just adding one more layer on your face makeup routine. I think the whole point of doing color correcting is also for you to apply much less foundation and concealer, or even no concealer afterwards. You treated the discoloration on your face first already, then you can apply much less products afterwards so that the whole face is not, pile layers after layers. Personally, I do it only when necessary, like when I really have super serious under eye dark circles. Otherwise, on my everyday life, I just really only use foundation and concealer. I think that's enough for me, and I think that's actually enough for many people already. So that's just my personal opinion, but I still hope that my whole explanation of the color wheel and the little demonstration will help you a little bit to understand more about color correction, since that's all the trend right now. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, please subscribe if you like my videos, and also follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye.